You're from Mindanao, but you are a critic of the Dutertes. Why is that?
Well, I am coming from a position where, number one, I actually do not believe in violence as a means to address issues and problems. That's one. Number two, I am not actually against the family. I am against the policy, which happens to be associated with the former president. And so, ako polisiya lang naman talaga yung hindi ko actually nagsusubscribe doon. And I'm not really against the family. I am against some of the, basically yung pinakapunto ng polisiya, di gobyerno na associated po sa kanila.
But when you were in the BARM Parliament during the time of former President Duterte, were you already against his policies at that time?
Yeah. I was
outspoken na against.
Yeah. Kasi number one, sabi ko nga, I was very, I maintained my position even when I started as a neophyte member of the assembly to call out yung mga aggression and hostilities against individuals and against groups, because we are actually one of the victims of this kind of state policies. So ako, I actually do not subscribe nga when it comes to running after criminals and upholding the justice system in a manner by which outside na doon sa dinidictate ng batas, which is the rule of law, and every suspected criminals are entitled to have a day in court.
Does your family share your view? Pareho ba kayo? Pati your brother came from Congress and you replaced him in Congress. Do they take the same position that you do?
Hindi namin kasi napag-usapan yung
mga... Hindi kayo nag-usapan. That's surprising. You come from a political family. Your mom was also a governor before, and then your father was previously a governor. They've held so many positions in elected positions. Hindi nyo napapag-usapan ng politika sa pamilya.
Alam nyo, pag Attorney Karen, pag kami nagkakasama-sama, yung ordinary lang na pamilya, so hindi na-dominate ng oras namin yung pag-iusapan namin yung politika. Although alam ko, I am confident na ay din naman talaga nila ng patayan, di ba? Ay naman nila ng mga polisiya na nagko-contravene doon sa pagpo-promote ng rule of law. Alam mo, ang rule of law at saka peace and order, hindi naman talaga siya mutually exclusive. It can go hand in hand.
And do you find that works the way you govern sa Lanao del Sur? Because normally, sinasabi nila sa Mindanao, mas magulo than the other regions daw in the Philippines. Is that true?
Well, yeah, I agree. We have been often visited by not just natural calamities, but man-made. But this is something that is imposed upon us. If you go back to history, it has so much dark memories that we experience, no?
In Marawi, totoo po ba na nawala niyo yung ancestral home niyo because of the conflict?
Yes. Yun yung unang mga na nagkaroon ng heavy firefight. Kasi malapit siya doon sa mosque, no? Sinasabi natin Grand Mosque.
Yes,
doon naka-station yung mga mga heavy snipers nila. Yeah.
Did you feel that it was necessary na may all-out war? You said kanina, palagay nyo tama naman yun to get rid of ISIS at the time. But did you feel any resentment towards the government at the time na nawala yung ancestral home nyo?
Ako nung nawala yung ancestral house namin, parang ang feeling ko at that time was naging pare-pareho na talaga lahat na. Kasi although masakit talaga yon, pero what can you do, 'di ba? Kasi doon talaga yung bakbakan. But when you ask me anything about something about resentment, ako magiging magkakaroon lang ng mas mataas na resentment kung hindi matapos itong rehabilitation.
And bumalik pa kayo nun sa Marawi. You were at that time in Cotabato. Pero kung iba yun, may mga CIA kami din. But that time, some people probably would stay away from Marawi. But kayo bumalik po kayo. Bakit mo piniling bumalik even at the height of the conflict?
Kasi una, nandun yung pamilya ko nandun yung tita ko doon talaga, na-trap sila doon sa ancestral house namin. And my mother was then the governor of the province. So, ang pangit naman yung ikaw dapat yung frontliner, tapos aalis ka at iiwas ka doon sa giyera, iiwas ka sa dapat na trabaho mo. So, when everyone was actually moving out from Marawi, kami na ako naman yung umaakyat.
Ikaw yung bumabalik doon.
Ako yung bumabalik. Kasi feeling ko at that time, I have to be there.
Pero in your family, wala naman pong casualties?
Wala naman, thank God. No, wala naman.
At the time, were you already married?
Yeah.
And you had a son by then?
Yes.
And is your wife also actively in politics, or does she have any plans to enter politics?
No. Well, she is not really into, although accepted niya yung buhay niya ngayon na kasama ako, but I don't see her any inclination of going, entering politics. I don't want her to enter politics.
Very private person po siya.
Yes.
And since we only have about a minute left, kanina na-mention yung 90% pa lang tapos yung rehabilitation sa Marawi. What do you think yung kailangan pa para matapos ito? At ano naman yung mga message nyo para dun sa mga nag-aantay ng full rehabilitation sa Marawi?
Well, una, yung tubig nga at saka ilaw, kailangan fast track, sinabi naman ng Presidente. By the way, I thank the President for visiting Marawi at sinabi naman niya, babalikan daw niya. So I'm optimistic that it can be finally, rehabilitation can be finally over. Sana within the last 3 remaining years of this President. Number 2, yung compensation talaga, packages. Kasi may substantial number of families na nabayaran, but there are still quite a large number of individuals and families who are still waiting for the compensation package. So, una, budget talaga, di ba? Kasi kailangan mong bigyan ng compensation yung mga biktima. So, I guess kung matapos yon, I can finally say na alhamdulillah, alam mo yun. Maski yung dark memories natin, at least there's sabi nga nila, there's the light at the end of the tunnel. So I am hoping that we can see that before the end of this administration's term.
We look forward to
Thank
that.
you.
And lastly, Kong Zia, apart from EJK, name one bill that you will push for in the 20th Congress.
Autism. We really need to have a comprehensive program and plans to assist itong mga children within the spectrum. Kailangan talaga natin yan kasi tumaas talaga yung number nila.
Marami nga po talaga. Or baka it was the lack of awareness din, kaya hindi na-diagnose properly.
Maybe, but there's really a need for the government to step up and make it as one of the priority policies.
Why is it close to your heart, this advocacy?
Because I have a daughter who is diagnosed within the spectrum. Yeah.
So it's something at least that you understand.
And it's surprising because ang dami din namin sa mga kasama ko sa Kongreso na may pamangkin.
Yeah, I have also a pamangkin na in the spectrum.
Talaga,
at napakamahal na mga therapies. Mahirap pa, mawi-waitlist pa.
Mahirap, 6 months ka mag-aantay, di ba?
Yeah.
6 months ka mag-aantay. So isa yun sa talagang, nag-file na kami noon, unfortunately, hindi siya na-approve. Hindi umabot dun sa 3rd reading, I guess. O umabot sa 3rd reading, but there's no counterpart measure in the Senate. So now, talagang ipa-file na namin uli yun.
That's good to hear. Thank you so much, Kong Zia. Kulang pa tayo sa time, but unfortunately, I hope we can have you back next time.
Yeah. I'll be glad to come back should you invite me again. Yeah.
Thank you again.